I'm saying there's the good side and the bad side of these businesses. Yeah. So in all of these situations, there's a business involved and there's real money involved, and somebody's benefiting from this thing that looks like, oh, that just happens. Nah, no way.
Somebody, my niece, just like her mother.
After 13 years of silence, Katt Williams is finally speaking up, and he's putting a spotlight on what really went down with Bobbi Kristina Brown. The timing alone has people raising eyebrows, because this story has been surrounded by whispers, rumors, and unanswered questions for years. The Brown family tragedies have always felt connected in unsettling ways, and for a long time, some people have pushed the idea that powerful figures in the industry were pulling strings behind the scenes. Whitney Houston's passing especially left many people confused with so many details that never fully made sense. From who allegedly supplied the substances that night, to reports of strange marks found on her body, to the high-profile party happening at the same time with major celebrities present, nothing about it felt simple. Then things got even more intense when Bobbi's aunt, Leola Brown, spoke out publicly. She claimed that Bobbi Kristina's death wasn't just a coincidence, but part of a bigger plan tied to control over Whitney Houston's estate. Those statements added even more tension to an already emotional situation.
Bobbi Kristina. When Nick gets arrested, everything will fall like dominoes. There are several people that wanted Bobbi Kristina dead, but I think the purpose of her death was to gain full access to Whitney Houston's estate.
Losing him was very, very unexpected, just like losing my daughter. He wasn't a user. He would experiment with different things.
Got it.
It wasn't like he was dependent on. My time played a part in my son feeling he could test something.
Right.
You know, and I feel guilty about that.
So you believe that there was foul play in Bobbi Kristina's
Definitely.
death? Got it.
Like
all
that
right.
maybe he drove her?
Definitely.
Wow. Okay.
He was the only one there with both situations, with my ex-wife and with my daughter. I've been clean 19 years from narcotics.
Okay.
I'm going on a year from alcohol.
What I'm saying is, in business, nothing is coincidental, or you would be hearing who's losing money. In all of these situations, it's only the artist that's losing. Somebody makes big money. When these rappers get not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts.
Just like her mother, Bobbi Kristina was found unresponsive in a bathtub on January 31st, 2015, before sadly passing away on July 26th, 2015. The similarities were impossible to ignore. Nearly 3 years after Whitney's death, Bobbi was discovered in her home in Roswell, Georgia, under almost identical circumstances, unconscious in a bathtub, which only deepened the mystery surrounding both cases. When she was discovered, Bobbi Kristina was found face down in the bathtub, a detail that instantly made the situation feel even more disturbing. According to Entertainment Tonight, her boyfriend, Nick Gordon, reportedly performed CPR until emergency responders arrived, trying to keep her alive in those critical moments. She was rushed to North Fulton Hospital and later placed into a medically induced coma. But despite all efforts, she sadly never recovered and eventually passed away. The autopsy revealed something even more troubling.
Now only got to deal with the mama, only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money goes up and up and up. So they keep $20 million guy, but they reaped $60 million in benefits.
Wow.
And they had some people from your city do.
There was foul play in Bobbi Kristina's
Definitely.
death. Got it.
Yes,
okay.
definitely.
Like
all
that
right.
maybe he drove her?
Definitely.
Wow. Okay.
He was the only one there with both situations, with my ex-wife and with my daughter, and they both died the same way.
Reports stated that Bobbi had a mix of strong substances in her system, along with prescription medications typically used for anxiety and sedation. Officials concluded that her death was caused by lobar pneumonia, which developed after she was submerged in water while intoxicated from multiple substances. In simple terms, her brain suffered severe damage due to a lack of oxygen, and that's what ultimately led to her passing. But not everyone accepted that explanation so easily. Her family strongly believed there was more to the story, and they refused to stay silent about it. They were convinced that someone played a role in what happened and pushed hard for accountability. This led them to file a lawsuit against Nick Gordon, raising even more questions about that night. What made things even more suspicious was the stance from investigators. While authorities acknowledged the medical cause of her death, they admitted they couldn't fully determine what led up to those final moments. That gap in answers only added more tension and left people wondering what really happened behind closed doors. According to investigators, what happened to Bobbi Kristina could have gone either way. It might have been intentional, or it could have been a tragic accident. That uncertainty left a huge cloud over the entire case. Now, even though her boyfriend Nick Gordon was never criminally charged, things didn't end there. In 2016, a court found him legally responsible for her death and ordered him to pay a staggering $36 million to her estate. That alone had people talking, but then the story took another shocking turn. Nick himself passed away in January 2020 from a drug overdose in a hotel room. It starts to feel eerie when you look at the pattern. One situation after another, people connected to Whitney Houston seem to be facing tragic endings under somewhat similar circumstances, and that only fueled more speculation. Since Whitney's name keeps coming up, it's important to look at what was actually revealed in her case too, because even years later, many still question what truly happened that night. When Whitney Houston's autopsy report was released, the official cause of death was listed as accidental drowning, but the deeper details raised serious eyebrows. According to the coroner, her assistant Mary Jones found her face down in a bathtub filled with water, which already mirrored what later happened to Bobbi Kristina. But it didn't stop there. The report also mentioned that Whitney had superficial abrasions on the left side of her forehead and along the bridge of her nose, along with fluid coming from her nose when she was discovered. Once those details became public, people started questioning everything, because those visible injuries made some wonder if there was more to the situation than just an accidental slip beneath the water. Some people believed the scene suggested a struggle, which made everything feel even more unsettling. On top of that, toxicology reports showed powerful substances in Whitney's system, meaning if anything serious did happen, her body likely wasn't in a strong state to fight back. That detail alone kept the conversation going and raised even more questions about her final moments. For those who may not know, the coroner on Whitney's case was Ed Winter, a name that has come up in other high-profile investigations too. He was also involved in looking into Kim Porter's passing and reportedly questioned aspects of her official cause of death, pointing out findings that didn't fully line up with the pneumonia explanation. That connection had people paying even closer attention to his role in Whitney's case. Ed Winter also noted that prescription pill bottles were found in Whitney's room, but the amounts reportedly weren't high enough on their own to explain her death. That added yet another layer of confusion to an already complicated situation. But the tragedies didn't stop there, and that's what really shook people. After both Whitney Houston and Bobbi Kristina passed away, another heartbreaking loss hit the family. Whitney's stepson, Bobby Brown Jr., was later found unresponsive in his Los Angeles home. His death was ruled an accidental overdose, and reports stated that a mix of substances was found in his system, similar to what had been seen in the earlier cases. By this point, a lot of people began to question whether all of these losses were truly just coincidences. The repeated patterns, the similarities in toxicology reports, and the unanswered questions left many wondering if there was more going on behind the scenes. Katt Williams has been one of the few voices in entertainment willing to speak on dark rumors about the industry, and his comments have definitely stirred attention. He suggested that some high-profile deaths aren't as random as they seem, and that powerful figures behind the scenes often benefit when tragedy strikes. Those claims have kept people talking, even if they remain unproven. What really caught attention is how his statement seemed to line up with what Bobbi Kristina's aunt, Leola Brown, has been saying. She has openly claimed that Bobbi Kristina's death was not accidental, but tied to control over Whitney Houston's estate. When you place those claims side by side, it adds another layer to an already emotional and complicated story. With Bobbi Kristina gone, and later the passing of Bobby Brown Jr., some observers started speculating about who still holds influence over Whitney Houston's legacy and estate. Still, it's important to note that these are claims and theories, not confirmed facts, even though they continue to spread online. As expected, the public has had strong reactions to all of this. Some people remain deeply skeptical about the official explanations. Like one person put it, "Ain't no way mother and daughter both died in a bathtub." And that comment right there pretty much sums up how a lot of people feel about this entire situation. The similarities between both cases are hard for many to ignore, and that's exactly why the conversation refuses to die down. Every time new details resurface or someone like Katt Williams speaks out, it pulls the spotlight right back onto these tragedies. But here's where things get even more intense. Over the years, multiple people connected to the situation have shared their own versions of what they believe happened, and none of the stories fully line up. That inconsistency has only made the public more suspicious, because when details don't match, people start asking deeper questions. At the same time, officials have consistently pointed to the medical findings and evidence gathered during their investigations. They've maintained that the causes of death were tied to substance use and tragic circumstances, even if every single moment leading up to those events couldn't be clearly explained. That gap between official reports and public belief is where all the tension sits. Now, the story lives in two worlds, one based on confirmed reports and another driven by speculation and unanswered questions. And until every detail feels fully explained, people are going to keep watching, keep talking, and keep trying to piece together what really happened behind the scenes. And even now, years later, this story still refuses to fade away. Every time a new interview drops or an old clip resurfaces, people jump right back into the debate trying to connect dots that may or may not even be there. Social media has only made it louder, with clips, theories, and reactions spreading fast and pulling in millions of views. What really keeps this alive is the emotional weight behind it all. This isn't just another celebrity headline. This is a family that faced multiple heartbreaking losses, one after another. That alone makes people question everything, because it feels bigger than just coincidence to many watching from the outside. At the same time, there are those who push back hard against the conspiracy talk. They argue that mixing speculation with real tragedies can blur the truth and take attention away from the facts that were actually confirmed during investigations. That clash of perspectives is exactly why this story stays so divided. In the end, you've got two sides that refuse to back down, one demanding deeper answers and the other sticking to the official reports. And as long as those questions keep circulating, this situation will stay in the spotlight, with people continuing to debate what really happened. At this point, the story has taken on a life of its own. Every detail, every interview, and every resurfaced report gets picked apart online, with people building their own timelines and trying to figure out what makes sense and what doesn't. The internet has turned this into an ongoing investigation in the eyes of the public, and it doesn't look like that's slowing down anytime soon. What makes it even more intense is how quickly narratives can shift. One moment, a clip or statement has everyone convinced of one angle, and the next moment, new information pops up and flips the entire conversation upside down. That constant back and forth keeps people hooked and adds even more mystery to an already complicated situation. Still, behind all the theories and debates, there's a real reminder here about how dangerous substance use and high-pressure environments can be. Those factors were officially documented and played a major role in what happened, even if every question wasn't fully answered. So while people continue to argue, analyze, and speculate, the truth is that this story sits at the center of both confirmed facts and ongoing questions. And that mix is exactly why it continues to grab attention and keep people talking. And just when people think the story couldn't get any deeper, more layers keep showing up. Old interviews, past statements, and even forgotten clips start resurfacing. And each one adds a new twist that keeps the conversation alive. It's like every time things go quiet, something pulls the attention right back. What's wild is how divided the reactions have become. Some people are fully convinced there's something hidden beneath the surface, while others are firm on sticking to the official findings and documented evidence. That split keeps the debate intense, because neither side is backing down anytime soon. Then there's the role of the media and online platforms, which have amplified everything. A single clip or quote can spread fast and shape how millions of people see the situation within hours. That kind of influence makes it even harder to separate what's tatcha and what's just speculation. At the center of it all, though, is a story filled with real loss, real consequences, and real unanswered questions. And whether people are searching for clarity or just trying to understand the bigger picture, one thing is clear: this story isn't leaving the spotlight anytime soon. Then things took another dark turn when Nick Gordon also passed away. That moment reopened a lot of questions for people, with some calling for all these cases to be looked at again and for more clarity to finally come out. Online, you'll see comments like, "Someone knows the full truth," and others saying, "They took out Whitney and Kristina." Some even go as far as claiming, if Nick did it, then he was mandated to, then unalive to keep things quiet, showing just how far the speculation has gone. But it's important to remember, those are public opinions and not confirmed facts. Still, the theories keep spreading, and the curiosity around this story hasn't slowed down at all. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think about Bobbi Kristina's death? And do you believe there was something bigger going on behind the scenes? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this.